Test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey everyone, Dean Soto here. Thanks for coming out. Hey, real quick, can you let me know if you can hear me? Just type really quickly into the chat if you can hear me and if you can see my screen. That would be awesome. Let's see what we got. Cool, awesome. Thanks, guys. Paul says yes. James says yes. Luke says yes. Pat says yes to yes to both. Anthony, Paula, Jack, James, Letitia. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Thanks, guys. Lots of people here. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out. I appreciate it. Jack. Okay. All right, cool. Jack says, will there be a replay? Will there be a replay? Yes, we always try and do a replay. Sometimes technical difficulties make it so that the replay doesn't show. So I can't make any promises, but we always try and do a replay. But you never know what happened. It's happened in the past where gone through the entire presentation and it's not there, but we'll definitely try and make that happen. All right, cool. So, all right. So great. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Dean Soto, founder of the Online Empire Academy, and I am excited today. We have something really special for you. In fact, this just may be the most in-depth webinar we've put together. We're going to show you how to build a thriving Amazon empire using only your laptop that you can literally run from anywhere. So I hope you're excited. All right. However, before we get started, I wanted to go over some quick housekeeping. I've been doing webinars for a long time, and I've been on tons of webinars where I'm half listening and half distracted. And I can say with confidence that whenever I was 100% focused on the webinar, I got something extremely valuable that I was able to use in my business. So that being said, I want you to get the most value from this presentation. So make sure that you turn off your cell phones, close Facebook, close Skype, and any other messenger apps that you have. Also, you can expand this window too if you really, really, really don't want to be distracted. Grab a pen. Super important. Grab a pen and paper so that you can take notes. One of my heroes, Jim Rohn, said to always take notes when you're listening to any presentation, because the very act of writing solidifies in your mind what you're hearing. Okay, if you are a serious learner and a serious business person, you are also, or at least you should be, a rabid note taker. So if you want to get the most out of this presentation, go quickly, grab a pen and paper and start preparing to take some notes, okay? And of course, pay close attention because you are going to love it. All right, so how do you know you're in the right place? I always want to make sure that your time and mine isn't wasted. So let me share with you who this webinar is for. It's for entrepreneurs, Amazon entrepreneurs who want to build a predictable and consistent business that's not based on hours worked per day. It's for anyone who's sick and tired of driving from store to store, scanning for gold, only to have to start doing it over and over again tomorrow. It's for the hardworking person who doesn't want to build a business with expensive inventory that might not sell. It's also for anyone who's tired of packing boxes all day, day in and day out with a garage full of stuff. Not even a garage full of stuff, a house full of stuff, or a storage area full of stuff. And it's for people who are willing to put in a little bit of work up front in order to get returns that pay over and over and over again. If you don't meet any of those, then I encourage you to hop off this webinar. No hard feelings. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. In fact, it's actually better that you go, because you're not wasting your time. I'm not wasting mine. And so definitely no hard feelings in that. If you do meet some or all of these, then let's get this train moving, because it's going to be super exciting. Okay. So make sure you stay with me till the end, because in this webinar, I'm going to share with you how to build a passive Amazon business, a thriving Amazon business, in a matter of days without having to pack heavy boxes or drive from store to store, scanning or for bargains. How would you like to simply create Amazon listings that work for you without having to spend the entire day searching for expensive inventory, packing boxes, or tying up money that your family needs? Okay, so this is what we're going to cover on this webinar. First, I'm going to fill you in on why you do not need to trade hours for dollars finding stuff in stores or online to sell on Amazon, and why it's actually hurting your chances of building a passive asset Amazon business that puts money in your pocket daily. And when I say passive assets, a lot of people don't know what that is. Essentially, you are hurting your chances of not being able to build listings, passive listings that work for you every day, all day. Imagine what it would be like to know with confidence that you never, ever have to start at zero every month, ever again. That you never have to run into the hamster wheel of finding one-off products that bring profit today, but that you can never sell again. And that every tiny bit of time that you spend on your Amazon business means that you increase your bottom line every month. How would it feel knowing that everything you choose to work on, if you do choose to work on it, is high value and means more money in your pocket every month consistently? So after that, I'm going to show you how to actually build a business that gives you financial freedom without having to pack boxes or miss family functions because you're stuck driving for deals. Picture in your mind what it would be like to see sales coming in while you're at church, at a party, an important family event, knowing that you never again have to spend hours and hours labeling, packing boxes, or shipping every day. Really see in your mind and feel how amazing it would be to use those hours to do whatever you wanted to do, whether you want to spend time building your business even more or to just have fun with your family. The choice is yours, truly. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about the best part, which is you're going to discover how to avoid being in the herd of most Amazon FBA sellers and how to ensure that you create a portfolio of replenishable listings that sell over and over again. Okay. How would it feel seeing other Amazon sellers at conferences? I mean, honestly, think about it. How would it feel to see other Amazon sellers at conferences, on different Facebook groups or in forums, and how they throw up those flashy sales numbers or pictures of their retail store shopping carts, filled to the brim with things that they found? How would it feel to know that you're making the exact same amount of revenue that they are while putting in about 1% of the work that they do? Imagine their shock when you throw up the same sales figures while also letting them know that you're enjoying a family vacation instead of sweating in a stuffy garage full of boxes. I'll also be sharing a lot more. I promise you that you are going to be so happy that you joined this presentation today. All right, so here is a little bit about me. These are the reasons these are the reasons I do what I do. That's me on the left with my better half and beautiful wife on the right. We have 6 wonderful children whom I absolutely adore and I would do anything for. From left to right, we got my main man, Soren, and then daddy's little girl, Yvette, on my lap. Right next to her is daddy's big girl, Alizea. Then we have sweet Genevieve, who we call Sweet G. We have daddy's little warrior, Gideon. And then all the way to the very, very right is my little sassy pants, Amelie. These are the reasons I do what I do. And I love what I do. Here's us on a family trip to Idaho at the Idaho National Forest. I had no idea Idaho actually even had places like this. It was absolutely awesome. Over the years, I've really focused on building businesses where I can focus on their lives so I never have to miss important moments with them ever. Here's here was one of the really cool things about this particular family trip, because no family trip would be complete without beating your two oldest daughters at Uno. Uh, well, okay, beating them 1 out of 10 games still constitutes a victory in my book. So, but no, I used to be a workaholic. I used to just be, tied to whatever it is I was doing, and to be free to spend time being present to my family like this, it's absolutely priceless. And you just can't do that with a lot of Amazon FBA business models, unfortunately. But I'll show you how that can all change. All right, so who is the real Dean Soto? Well, over the last 7 years, I've been on the in the online marketing and e-commerce space. I left a very cushy and very high-paying job where I could have honestly coasted for probably the next 30 years if I wanted to, but I knew that I could give more to myself, to my family, and to others by really chasing the entrepreneurial dream. I started selling on Amazon in 2012, mainly doing retail arbitrage doing thrift stores, garage sales, and retail stores. It really was the first time that I saw the power of Amazon and really the ability to let Amazon market your products on your behalf. It was pretty amazing. And during that time, I actually founded the Online Empire Academy with a partner with a goal of not only teaching people how to sell on Amazon, but how to stay one step ahead of the crowd so that you're always building a sustainable, safe, and long-term business on Amazon. Really, for 4 years, we've built up an amazing community of other Online Empire Academy students who are successfully running amazingly profitable Amazon businesses. I currently run multiple businesses from my home, and I support a family of 8 in California with multiple income streams. And best of all, I love, love, love drop shipping. And I preach the joys of drop shipping on Amazon because I believe in its power to change lives. Honestly, God's been really, really, really good to me. And I've had the honor and privilege of consulting with some of the most amazing and top best recognized Amazon keyword research tools such as Keyword Inspector and Merchant Words. And I've been lucky enough to be quoted in the Orange County Register, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. And all in all, I've been really blessed to have been able to meet people and do things that I never imagined I'd ever have the chance to do. And I'm proud of that. I'm totally proud of that. But what I'm really proud of is this. So here's a sale from a product that I've never touched or have ever seen in my entire life with my own eyes. I've never touched it, never seen it personally with my own eyes. The best part is that this sale happened early in the morning while I slept. Normally it sells for about $39.95, but in this particular case, the customer actually bought 2, so it ended up being $79.90. Here's another product I've never personally seen or touched ever. It's one of my best-selling products and sells year-round. Obviously, this one is a much higher price than the previous one. Imagine trying to sell something like this via normal Amazon FBA, like retail arbitrage and so on. You'd have to spend tons of money just to buy the thing in order to resell it. The cool thing is that I don't pay a cent in cost of goods on this product until a customer has already opened up their wallet and paid me full price for it first. And now here's another product that I sell over and over again on Amazon I'm really proud of. Obviously, the price tag is high. Do you know why? Well, the reason is because this is actually a bundle. I didn't have to go out and spend my own money to put this bundle together. I didn't have to ship the bundle to Amazon, and I didn't have to bite my fingernails, hoping and praying it would sell because I had a bunch of money tied up in it. I simply created a listing and worked on other things while I waited for people to order and pay me. That's it. Simply created the listing. Didn't even buy the products. None of them. And they sell. No, I know I'm painting a very pretty picture of how awesome and wonderful things are, but it honestly wasn't always this way. Like you, I struggled with managing my work, business, my family life, all those different things. Now, I was big into a lot of various gurus that are out there that preach that all you needed to do to become financially free was to hustle and work harder, have passion, get out there and hustle. I'd I'd wake up around 6:30 a.m., slog out of bed, go to my full-time job, come home, eat, play with the kids for about 15, 30 minutes, and then go back to work and keep doing that till about 2 a.m. Well, a big reason why I started my business in the first place was because ever since we met, I knew that my wife's dream was to be a stay-at-home mom, which is not easy in Southern California. But after about 2 years and about 60 to 70 hours a week worth of work, I, I was juggling between my full-time job and my side business. We actually ended up making it happen, and it was awesome. But it also intensified my issues with the work life, family balance to the point of almost having a nervous breakdown. It was crazy. While I was at my full-time job, I would take on web development projects that I could do on my during my break times. I would During lunch, I would go and hit up nearby thrift stores and scan all their new stuff. If I found something to sell, sweet. If not, it would be a sucky rest of the day. Either way, after lunch, I had to head back to my full-time job that I hated. After work, I'd hit up some more thrift stores, retail stores for an hour, then I'd head home. I'd see my wife and kids real quick, and then it was back to finishing up my web development project. So just hopping between Amazon FBA and my web projects. Oh, and by the way, the weekends consisted of early morning garage scale scanning and more odd jobs and projects here and there. So in 2014, I realized that I had to make a tough choice. Either my projects or Amazon had to go. I could do my projects from my laptop. I can work anywhere. Plus, I could scale the business by hiring a virtual assistant and essentially being a broker between the developer and the actual client. Um, Amazon required me to go out, required me to source products and bring them home and clean them and take price tags off them and make sure that they were the correct item, print FBA labels, box them up, put packing slips on them, ship them out, and do it all over again the next day. I could hire people to process boxes, but then I have to find someone reliable and trustworthy because you have them either in your house or in your garage or even your storage area all every day. You On top of that, you had to take valuable sourcing time training them. And it's really difficult teaching people if you want them to source, teaching them how to source. And once you do, it's very easy for them to jump ship and go do it on their own now that they know how to do it. You know, the worst part was actually having to be present all the time. I always had to be there because there were physical products. And so honestly, Amazon had to go. I had to quit Amazon in 2014. But flash forward to 2015, I stumbled upon drop shipping on Amazon and ooh man, have I been in love with building an Amazon empire from my laptop. I can be anywhere I want to be or take as much time as I like, and my business keeps humming along with or without me, and I love it. All right. So, have you ever felt this way at all? Um, have you ever felt like maybe, I'm currently struggling with not having enough time to run and grow my business. I just can't seem to figure out how to get past my current plateau. Or maybe every time I've tried to earn more money on Amazon, my Amazon business, I end up just getting more and more exhausted and frustrating. Or maybe you kind of felt like, heck, I've tried hiring and or partnering with people, but it just leads to more time being spent training and frustration seeing half of my profits or more going down the tube with people that didn't care about my business like I do. In the chat, guys, type in the chat. Have you ever just tried to, buckle down and hustle your way into making more money on Amazon by squeezing in more hours into the day or out of the day? Have you ever just tried to hey, I need to make more money, so I'm just going to either wake up early, or I'm going to go to bed late, or I'm going to maybe go part-time in my work or something like that. Have you ever just tried to hustle it out? And if so, what was the result, guys? What was the result of that? What happened? Awesome. Awesome. Good responses. James said, made more money, but it didn't last. Awesome. Bob said, almost nearly killed myself working so hard. Yeah, these are all great responses. Like these are all great responses. Yeah, Susan says that the money was nice, but I couldn't keep it up. Yeah, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, right? It's not going to work, unfortunately. Great responses, guys. Thanks so much. This is awesome. All right, so let's jump into strategy one. Let's get into tip one, all right? Exactly how to stop trading hours for dollars on Amazon, right? You're going to learn the number one key to creating a business you can work on and not in, all right? We're going to talk about why spending more of your own precious time finding products is not the answer, and why hiring and building a team is a last resort. It's going to be awesome. Let me take a drink of my kombucha. Okay. Don't judge me. I drink kombucha. I love it. All right. So the number one key to building a business that works for you. All right. If you are looking for that number one best golden gem to get out of this presentation, this is it. Do you know why? This idea is so pivotal and so necessary to have. Really, like, if you understand this concept and understand why it's so necessary to having a business that you can work on rather than the one that you're forced to work in, is that it transcends selling on Amazon and is part of it really is part of every successful lifestyle business. Okay, back in the day, when Amazon FBA first came out and became really popular, everyone was in love with the thought of being able to take your smartphone or barcode scanner, scan an item, and see what it sells for on Amazon and profit. And don't get me wrong, it was freaking awesome. I love the idea. I totally did, because it made it so simple to find products and know with a lot of certainty that you could sell it for a profit. There was one big problem though. One big problem though that I know at the time I didn't see, and other people didn't either. One huge bottleneck in the operation. And that bottleneck is you. And the bottleneck is me. Yep, you and me. No matter what, there is no way to get away from the fact that in order to increase profits beyond a certain level, you are either going to have to put in more hours or take a major pay cut in time and profits by hiring someone else to help. Okay? You either needed to spend more time sourcing and boxing yourself, or sacrifice profits and to sacrifice profits and time to train somebody else to box or source, or both. And we'll talk about that later. But on top of all that, you're chained to your garage or your storage area or your house or whatever it is. I mean, you really can't leave for extended periods of time without your business falling apart or profits diminishing. Sure, you can take a 2-week vacation, but unless you have an amazing and incentivized staff working for you, the longer you are away, the more chances you have of something going wrong. All right, listen, a little bit later, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't follow the herd. And most Amazon FBA herd doesn't follow this key concept that I'm going to be sharing with you. They would much rather hustle themselves to death or hire their way into a prison of their own making, okay? So all that being said, the number one key to building a business that works for you rather than you working for the business is scalability versus cash flow, okay? Scalability versus cash flow. In fact, you should be looking to build a business based on what I call, I coined the phrase. I don't even know what you would call it, but this is the only thing that came to mind when I wanted to explain it. I call graduated scalability. Graduated scalability. Graduated scalability means that your business grows first through technology and processes rather than people, okay? For example, as you can see in the picture above, scanning items with retail arbitrage or even doing online arbitrage, finding products online that you can off of eBay or whatever that you can sell on Amazon for a profit are not graduated scalable businesses, okay? And they're not for 2 reasons. The first is that when you are the business owner in a business like this, when you stop working, all operations stop, okay? Sourcing, boxing, shipping, everything, even with technology, okay? Even with technology to find, say, online arbitrage products, it requires that you constantly be sourcing, all right? Yes, you could hire a virtual assistant if you wanted to, which is especially with online arbitrage, you can hire, do it for $400. But guess what? Where do those boxes go to once they find them on eBay that you're going to ship onto Amazon? They go to you. So now you have to hire someone at your house if you want to scale that. All right. So you end up hiring in a hiring frenzy. Okay. So the second thing you have to consider, so that was the first, is that all operations stop with you. Okay. The second is that implementing technology or processes only have a minimal effect on the overall business when you're not in a graduated, scalable business. A new tool that, say, helps with sourcing is useless without the business owner. The only option is to scale the business. The only option really to grow your business is to hire someone to do multiple things. So you have someone who sources for you, say overseas, or then someone over here that boxes for you, and then someone over here that ships for you, and maybe you have a domestic person sourcing. This is why it is extremely rare to see any Amazon FBA retail arbitrage or online arbitrage businesses being sold as a real business would be sold, okay? Because it's not an asset. It's a cash flow business. All you're doing is generating cash flow, which isn't bad. It's not bad. It's just it's not really a business that someone who buys a business like that knows that as soon as they buy it, they have a job, okay? Now, however, in a graduated scalable business like dropshipping, technology is the first major factor in increasing profit and in getting the owner out of the business. Once you have your own product sources and your items listed on Amazon, you can easily use software to fulfill products to your customers once they purchased without ever lifting a finger to pack boxes. Go out and source, you can go out and source the product again because you have multiple vendors, you have suppliers, and then everything is all shipped automatically by the vendor themselves, by the supplier themselves. What would take thousands of dollars to do in man hours per month with retail arbitrage can be done on a shoestring budget with some drop shipping software and maybe one virtual assistant, if that, and you don't even need that. It's only when you're really profitable and are starting to feel the stretch of keeping up with the numbers, your profit, keeping track of profits on an Excel spreadsheet or tracking numbers and things like that, that you start hiring. And usually it takes someone overseas maybe $350 to or $400 for full-time work to manage a ton of revenue. Okay, as the picture plainly shows above, all of this is easily done anywhere in the world as long as you have a laptop and an internet connection. I know this because I know this because I did this while I was on vacation in Idaho. I love it. So, are you following me? Are you following me why spending more time finding products is not the answer? Um, you're always limited by you. You are the bottleneck, right? No matter what profitable and amazing products you source, okay? No matter what you could have a $1,000 per, $1,000 profit product. You're always back at zero the next day because you can never source them again consistently. And you're never building an asset. Okay? You're only building cash flow, which is great, but when you're building cash flow, you have to constantly be working. Whereas when you're building an asset or just having a listing out there, it's constantly working for you, okay? If you want to scale, your only option to freedom from the day-to-day is to hire, and that's really costly. And worst of all, you'll never have the security of reliable product sources. Think of how bad it feels. Gosh, I used to hate this. Think about how bad it feels when you spend the entire day looking for products that sell only to come up empty-handed. Right? That's the worst feeling. Okay, Dean, but you keep dogging on retail arbitrage and online arbitrage. What's so bad about hiring a team? There's nothing bad about hiring a team. If you can do it and that's the way you want to go, great, do it. That's awesome. I just think that there's a healthier and easier and better way to build a business in today's age. Okay, there's a few years ago, one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Jason Fried from Basecamp. It's actually the umbrella company is 37 Signals, but they make Basecamp, which is a project management tool. Talked about the herd's fascination, especially the Amazon herd's fascination with equating business growth with growth of employees. And he said, quote, just about every journalist I've talked to in recent times asks about the growth at 37 Signals. You're still just 8 people. How do you plan on growing? When will you begin to really grow the company? Why have you decided not to grow the company? The answer is always the same. We are growing, but not physically. You can grow without growing. In fact, I think it's a healthier path. Our customer base is growing. Our revenues are growing. Our customer satisfaction are growing. Our product offering is growing. Our integration options are growing. This is the kind of growth that we want. Now, this is at the time they only had 8. Now I think they have like about 20 people, and this is a $100+ million business per year. Okay, only about 20 something people. All right, and that's the point, is that you do not have to hire if you don't want to. Okay. Here's my issue with a lot of gurus out here. A lot of gurus make building teams look easy, but you have to manage training, metrics, expenses, and margins, okay? So look, just because you hire someone to help pack, ship, or source doesn't mean that your business is growing or will grow. Once you hire people, there's a lot of added stress and work. And the truth is that you may be trying to put a Ferrari body frame over a Ford Pinto engine. If your business can't sustain employees, you may look good for a while and post amazing pictures of your employees on Facebook, but if your ducks aren't in a row, you can really be in some serious trouble, okay? In fact, when I was doing some retail arbitrage, especially at thrift stores, I actually hired someone for $10 an hour. His name was Emmanuel. He was awesome, and he found so many good products. And one thing that I didn't foresee when I actually hired somebody was not necessarily whether they were good or not, but I wanted someone who could source for me, and he sourced some amazing products. But the problem was that the products were not turning nearly as fast as they needed to be turning. And so while they would sell, and they would sell with good margins, they didn't sell fast enough. And so eventually I had to let them go because I couldn't pay for them. I couldn't build enough cash flow to do it. So you can only imagine too, if you have a retail arbitrage thing, sometimes your cash flow drops significantly by going too far, too deep into a bulk buy. Okay. So what if your business actually scaled naturally from the very beginning? What if your business model scaled through technology first, and then people who could manage the actual technology? Just picture waking up every day knowing that even if you did nothing at all, your business would still be running because it didn't require your time to make sales. Imagine the feeling of seeing incoming emails saying sold, sold, sold in your inbox, even while you are relaxing with your family. Before I go, how would you feel? How would that feel? Tell me and type in the chat. Like, would that would that feel bad or good if you just saw an email come in saying sold, 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 and knowing that you don't have to do anything with it? Maybe you'll just enter a tracking number in Seller Central, depending on how you have your setup. Or maybe you'll send an email to your supplier and that's it. How would that feel to know that you didn't have to pack boxes, you didn't have to do anything? Yeah, totally. Good. Everyone's saying, oh, that it feels good. Okay, good. Yeah, obviously it's going to feel good. So I love that. I love that. Great job, guys. Like, glad you're tracking. All right, so tip number 2, let's get into the actual drop shipping and what is drop shipping and get into getting started with drop shipping, okay? All right, so we're going to talk about why I dropship on Amazon. I'm going to destroy a lot of the myths that are around dropshipping on Amazon. I'm going to talk about some considerations about dropshipping and what you'll need to get started. And then we're going to do some examples of what you can dropship. All right, why do I dropship on Amazon? I dropship on Amazon because I hate selling physical products, because I have to physically be there. It lets me build out a system. It keeps me out of the loop for the most part. Sometimes I have to be in there, sometimes I don't, maybe with a customer handling something like that. I never have to ship anything. I can build it as big as I want, and we're going to talk about that later and show you just how big you can build it. I don't have to fork up the cash up front. Okay, that's the big thing. I put up listings. That's it. I don't have to buy stuff up front. I just put up listings. And one vendor, one supplier means thousands of dollars in replenishables every month, potentially. So a lot of the myths of drop shipping, all right? A lot of the myths, and there are a lot, but these are the main ones, okay? Most people think that it's not allowed. That is not true. It is very much allowed in Amazon. If you go Google and do this, you can do this after the webinar. But if you go and Google Amazon dropship policy, Amazon will tell you what their dropship policy is. It's very short and very succinct and very specific. Okay, they want you to be the seller of record. They want you to handle everything, and pretty much that's it. And you have to have your packing slips and stuff inside the boxes, which is very easy to do once you have everything set up. So it is allowed. In fact, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest dropship, a $1 billion dropship business on Amazon, and who happens to be one of my competitors. Okay, I had no idea who they were until I realized, oh crap, like they're competing on a lot of my stuff, but we'll talk about that later. So myth, you need to be an experienced seller. Guess what? I started off not knowing what the heck I was doing. And the reason why I'm able to share this with you, and the reason why I teach people how to drop ship, is because I went through all of the pain myself. I went through all of the pain, even not knowing what I was doing. I didn't even merchant fulfill one thing on Amazon ever before, okay? And I went through all of that, and I came out scot-free. It was awesome, okay? So yeah, it was hard, but now that I have the system dialed in and I know how everything works and I can teach it, it's super easy. You do not have to be an experienced seller. Another myth is if you mess up once, Amazon will suspend you. Nope, wrong. Nope. If that were true, then they wouldn't have any merchant fulfilled sellers either. There are people who just ship their own stuff, okay? Yes, you have to follow Amazon's rules. Yes, you have to stay within a certain performance matrix, but you will see that when you start drop shipping, it's not as cut and dry as, oops, I messed up, therefore I'm going to get dinged. I always teach people how to talk to your customers, how to get, good reviews, how to, even if you cancel something or maybe you don't have something in inventory, how to get out of that. Okay, there's always ways to turn lemons into lemonade. Okay, and the last one is I don't have the time. Well, if you have the time to go and spend 8 hours a day or 4 hours a day at doing retail arbitrage, I would think you would have the time spending 30 minutes a day getting a supplier under your belt and then spending 30 minutes to list some of their products that pay you over and over and over again. Okay, you just spent an hour, and now rather than finding $100 in profit after four hours at a retail store, you're getting $100 in profit every month from your listings or more, without having to do anything other than send emails, if that. So if you don't have the time, usually in this case, it's not because you don't have the time, it's because you want fast money. You want to get rich quick. But it's funny because then it tends to be pretty ironic that a lot of retail arbitrageurs who want to get rich quick spend hours and hours and hours a day doing retail arbitrage, not getting rich quick. Oh, that's my sarcastic side. Sorry about that. All right. Some considerations. You do have to merchant fulfill. You have to you are technically merchant fulfilling, okay? The difference is that your vendor is shipping, your supplier is shipping, and not you. So when I say merchant fulfill, you do everything a merchant fulfilled seller would do except actually shipping them yourself, okay? And merchant fulfill is awesome. I had some great experiences with customers. If something's wrong with the item, you have to respond to it, okay? You have to manage inventory closely. You have to find vendors. Margins are 10 to 40% depending on the vendor or product. Yes, you're not going to get $1,000 or 1,000% margin. You are going to get what a normal business gets. Okay. What you're going to need? You're going to need to know how to list an item. All right. You're going to need to know how to list an item. You're going to be able to sell. You need to be able to send an email to a supplier when something sells, and then you're going to have to track vendor emails when they send you your tracking number. This varies with different suppliers how this works, but essentially that's all you do. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that hard, yeah? So let's get into some examples. So here is what you do in order to get started dropshipping on Amazon. Okay, first, you're going to need to find an item that you'd like to sell. In this example, I was looking for a professional harmonica set. I recently saw something on TV about harmonicas, and so I thought this was a good idea. So wanted to use this. So this is a Suzuki ProMaster Deluxe set of 6 professional harmonicas. I got this listing by typing in professional harmonica set into the search bar and by picking the one that really looked pretty much the most interesting to me. Now, looking at this listing, I noticed that the brand is Suzuki, but the seller is someone else, which tells me that Suzuki, a brand that everyone pretty much knows, is okay with dealers selling on Amazon, okay? Because the person who's actually selling this is a dealer. It's somebody else. So I also like the price, and I'm figuring that there is probably about 35 to 50% discount to dealers for this particular item, I would imagine. So now the big question is, how do we, on this particular thing, how would we become a dealer? Like what would we do in order to become a dealer? Since we already know on this example by seeing that My Music Life is able to sell this thing. How do we become a dealer too? Well, quick Google search for Suzuki Music, and I went to their, I did that search, and I went to their harmonica page. It was a little bit hard to find, but I finally found it on the bottom of the page. There was a contact email and phone number of the person to call to get a wholesale account and price list. Once I get the account, I can then start listing all of the items they let me sell. I can list all the items that they have. If they're not already listed, I can create bundles, I can create multi-packs or whatever. Honestly, the sky's the limit. When a customer orders from one of my listings, because the customer already paid me for the product, I turn around, order the product at wholesale, and then have Suzuki ship it to the customer for me. All done from my laptop. How cool is that? Not hard, not rocket surgery. Here's another example of another harmonica. This time I searched for professional harmonica in the search bar, and it came up with a couple of products, but this one caught my eye because of the reviews. Once again, see that the brand name is Swan, but the seller is somebody completely different. What the really interesting thing you'll see as you start dropshipping is about 25% of the people you see merchant fulfilling, maybe even more, are actually other dropshippers. So this Palmetto 128, pretty darn sure that this person is actually a dropshipper. I see my competition all the time. And when you see how many thousands of items they're dropshipping and how long they've been doing it on Amazon, you'll understand why this is one of the best kept secrets on Amazon. All right. So anyway, let's see if we can find the vendor of this harmonica and become a supplier. Once again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I did another quick Google search to find Swan harmonicas, and this time it was much easier to find where to get an account with them. It was right up on top of their website, which tells you that they obviously want more dealers. Now, most people would be scared off by either of these two examples because they don't mention drop shipping. Okay, here's the deal. Even though most suppliers say they only wholesale items, more often than not, they will also drop ship. Okay, so don't even worry about it. Drop shipping has been around for a long time, and most suppliers have been working with drop shippers for a long time. Would they prefer that you buy in bulk from them, a few $100 or $1,000? Of course, but they want as many sales as possible as long as it's a win-win. So in this situation, I would just go to their webpage, send them a note, and get a wholesale account with them. Once that's done, you can sell everything they have, bundle things up, multi-pack. Honestly, your options are literally limitless. Best of all, what does it cost you to do a bundle? Okay, I love bundles. All right, if you were doing regular Amazon FBA, you'd have to buy the products, seal them up, put the right labels on them, ship them, and hope they sell. As a drop shipper, you would simply create the bundle listing and wait until someone buys. That's it. Yep. It's that easy. Seriously. Now, do you see why I love drop shipping? Picture how easy your life would be knowing that just by creating simple and fast listings, you're building a portfolio of products that will sell day after day. Now imagine how good it'll feel knowing that you didn't have to pay a single penny for any of the products that you've listed. How big, I want you to think about how big could you grow your business if all you had to do was list products? How big could you grow your business? In fact, type in the chat, how big could you grow your business if all you had to do was list products? You didn't have to pack, you didn't have to do anything. You didn't even have to go source once you had the suppliers. All you had to do was list products. How big could you grow your business? Type in the chat. Huge, huge, big, really, really big. As big as I want. Great. Yep, exactly. Exactly. How amazing is that? All right, so tip number 3, last tip, and then we're gonna kind of wind things down. Amazon is becoming more restricted with arbitrageurs. Thanks for answering all those, by the way, because honestly, you can build this as big as you want. We're gonna talk about private label too, and it can be great, but it's risky and takes a long time. And we're gonna talk about growing like Wayfair, one supplier portfolio at a time. Okay, Wayfair. If you know what Wayfair is or who Wayfair is, it's they. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna save it. I'm not even gonna tease you. Well, actually, I am teasing you. Anyway. So avoid the herd. Amazon is becoming more restrictive with arbitrageurs. I don't think that retail arbitrage or online arbitrage will ever go away, but it's very apparent that Amazon is becoming more and more restrictive to arbitrageurs. Last year they went on a suspension spree, and actually not too long ago I had a friend um, who got suspended, not just his account, but his entire family's account, and they relied on Amazon in order to support their family. More and more categories are becoming gated. Even some brands like Star Wars are becoming gated. Star Wars, you needed special approval in order to sell. That sucks. And look, I totally get it. I always see those groups, of people who are bragging with pictures on their, in their Facebook groups, and with like they have long receipts, or they'll have vans filled with products and all that other stuff. Retail arbitrage and online arbitrage is fun. It's great sometimes going out there and just meeting new people and finding treasures. But the fact is that you're still back at zero at the end of the day, and you need to do it all again tomorrow. Private label. Um, Private label, it's an one option that people have used, and because they recognize that they need consistency, they need sustainability. My problem with private label is that you have to have a connection domestically or overseas. You could use Alibaba or whatever and stuff, but you're still going to be spending a lot of time going back and forth. It's a great replenishable alternative, but it can be really risky with bulk buys and doing quality checks and getting samples. And really, sometimes the launch time for your PL product can take months. It all depends, right? But yeah, I understand why people do it. I just rather be able to list things, boom, and then have them start selling right away. So here's something that's really cool that I want to share that gets me pumped up and excited every time I think about it. When I first started dropshipping, I was getting these new vendors, and about half of them, I would always find that I was completing some dumb with some dumb seller named Wayfair, and I had no idea who they were, but I knew that they were all over the place on Amazon, and that they were drop shipping from a lot of the vendors that I was also drop shipping from. And I was like, who the heck are these guys? They're so annoying. I would just end up creating my own bundle. I ended up just creating my own, bundles, and in order to have my own unique products and outsmart them. But come to find out, they are $1 billion company and the largest drop shipper on Amazon, and they're my competition. I found this quote from an article on them that I love. It says, nearly all of Wayfair's, and this is in 2014, estimated 1.3 billion 2014 sales will be drop shipped to millions of customers directly from manufacturers. Wayfair works with 7,000 third-party sellers that represent 7 million unique products. This is why I preach what I preach about drop shipping, and that it's being drop shipping being the best way to sell on Amazon, and the future of building a lifestyle business on Amazon. I want you to think for a moment. Yeah, of course, Wayfair is huge. It's a huge company now, but at one point they started off just like you. Okay? They started off just like you. They started off just like I did with drop shipping, and at some point, really they had to figure out how drop shipping on Amazon worked. They took action. They saw how easy you can scale a business like this, and now they're killing it. They add listings to Amazon every day, just like you can. You can do the same. The possibilities are wide open. I mean, honestly, how would you feel knowing that you could easily create a portfolio of hundreds of products to market and start making sales right away? Now picture just how relaxed and carefree you would be, and how you would feel knowing that you were selling those products before ever having to buy them. So none of your hard-earned money is locked up in inventory for weeks or even sometimes years. Okay. So where do I go from here? I think you'll agree that you can find massive amount of value inside this presentation, but you may also feel overwhelmed with it all, which is totally understandable. Well, in the next few minutes, I'm gonna share exactly how my students have built an amazing Amazon business using only their laptop that lets them have the freedom they want in the life that they deserve without fail. How would you like me to help you to build an Amazon business with all the free time, financial freedom, and have it just work without struggling day in and day out? Type in the chat, like, do you want me to show you how to build an Amazon business like this? A business that gives you all the free time, all the financial freedom, and just have it work without struggling day in and day out. Yes or no? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Yeah. Nice. Awesome. Yes. 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 Great. Great. Awesome, guys. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to share it with you, and to be able to give you that. So introducing dream drop shipping. If you really want to build a passive business without tying up a lot of capital, if you really want to have more time with your family and friends, if you want to own a portfolio of listings that will put money in your pocket month after month and get rid of the hustle and grind of scanning for gold, driving to store, only to wake up and do it over and over again, I want you to take a second and feel how much fun it would be to wake up every morning to sales, not having to hunt for products day in and day out. What would that do for your family? Having that peace of mind knowing that you're financially secure and can spend time with your spouse and kids on your own terms. All the while knowing that you're not stuck in the herd on a rat race chasing deals. You are the captain of your own ship. How would that feel? What would that be like? Maybe you're like Tanya, who she had been selling on Amazon, doing retail arbitrage for a long time, and was very skeptical about the whole drop shipping model. Well, despite her skepticism, she became one of my best students. Within her first week, made her first sale all from her computer. How awesome is that? Or maybe you're like Philip, who wanted to spend more time with his family. He made his first dropship sale the day after his first listing. And now he is making his own bundles and building a business that gives him the flexibility to be there whenever he wants to be with his family or whenever they need him. Or maybe you're a positive go-getter, no holds barred, just absolute workhorse like Tana, who took the bull by the horns and was one of our fastest students to make her first sale. She made no excuses and made sure to implement everything that I taught her. And now she's getting more and more suppliers in her portfolio and rocking it on Amazon. Or maybe you're like Alex, who was tired of all those other courses where once you buy the course, you never hear from the instructor again. My student Alex was so amazed with the support and interaction he received once he became a dream dropshipper that he said, and I quote, "I have bought many online courses in my life, but I've never had such a great interaction with a teacher. You have a student for life, brother. Thanks again." As you might imagine, dream dropshipping has been cleverly designed with you in mind. Here's what you'll get. The exact step-by-step process and templates for contacting vendors. Vendors that want to do business with you. My 1-minute listing process you can copy to get all of your assets built fast and ready to sell as quickly as possible. The easy process for creating your own unique listings and dominating with absolutely zero competition. The systems and processes I use so that your dropshipping business runs on autopilot, saving you hours of time each week. 4 course modules with 20 plus step-by-step videos that you can hand off to your virtual assistant so they can build assets for you. And the 24/7, 365 Dream Dropshipping Success Facebook group where you can get help at any hour of the day from other successful students just like you, so you are never alone. So this is going to work. This works even if you've never sold products on Amazon before successfully. You don't have a lot of time because of a full-time job and family responsibilities. You struggle sourcing products and are frustrated with your current situation. You're running a successful Amazon business and want an easy method for testing new products. And if you're scared of the myths about dropshipping and account suspensions, I show you how to dropship safely and effectively, just like Wayfair is doing. Okay, here's what you're getting. Here's again what you're getting: 4-step module, step-by-step course with 20 plus videos. My exact template for contacting valuable suppliers, templates for tracking sales, exact process templates for your virtual assistant, my 1-minute product listing system, my unique product creation system, my proprietary automation processes, and the exclusive Dream Dropshipping Facebook group. This system is normally valued at $4,236, but stay with me because I have a much better deal for you today. Just for watching this entire presentation today, I'd like to give you 3 bonuses when you take action right now. The first is my outsourcing Udemy course valued at $50. Okay, you're going to discover how easy it is to find the best and cheapest overseas virtual assistants in the world. This includes where to find amazingly talented workers for $350 per month for full-time work. Okay, it includes exact templates for hiring and interviewing, so you're 100% sure to find the virtual assistant of your dreams, and training, how to train your virtual assistant so they can run your business while you sleep. Second bonus is my sponsored ads for dropshippers course, valued at $197. You're going to learn how to use Amazon sponsored ads to blast your sales into outer space. You're going to know what are sponsored ads and what you need to do to make sales fast. You're going to know key factors that tell you if you have a winning campaign or not. And you're going to know my secrets to targeting the right search terms with the right amount of competition. Lastly, bonus number 3, you're going to get my Amazon tax secrets class valued at $97. You're going to discover everything you want to know about Amazon taxes but were afraid to ask. This will get you 100% clear on Amazon tax issues and have the peace of mind to stop worrying about all that stuff and start making money. And just so you know, this call was done with a skilled professional. And while I'm not an accountant and I give no tax advice whatsoever, I wanted to bring a trained CPA on this call to be able to provide you as much value as possible. Here's my promise to you. If you go through the entire Dream Dropshipping course and honestly feel I've wasted your time, or if you weren't able to find any value, send me an email and I'll gladly refund you. No questions asked, no hard feelings at all. And just to make the offer even sweeter, only for those who buy today, I will throw in a 30-minute coaching call valued at $300. Okay. This secret bonus, together with the outsourcing course on Udemy, sponsored ads, dropshipper bonus, this Amazon tax course bonus, and Dream Dropshipping itself, surely will help you break through the barriers that have been holding you back from building an amazing Amazon empire where you have the freedom to do what you want and have the life that you deserve. Add the Dream Dropshipping and the bonuses together, and the value is super overwhelming, I know. Over $4,880, and even at that price, it's a total bargain. But don't worry, you're not going to have to spend $4,880 today. Today, because you attended this webinar, your price is just $697. That's right. Today, because you attended this webinar, your price is just $697. So go to www.mydreamdropshipping.com to get started. If you are ready to get started building a thriving Amazon business using only your laptop that you can run from anywhere in the world, go to www.mydreamdropshipping.com or click this Get Started Now button right now, and you'll get the system for just $697. One more time, go to www.mydreamdropshipping.com or click the Get Started Right Now button, and you'll get the system for just $697. Here's what's going to happen when you do. All right, so here is the checkout page. First, you're going to be taken to our 100% secure checkout page, which looks like this. You'll simply enter your name, billing address information, and your payment information. We take credit card and PayPal as well. Now, every now and then, we have issues with American Express. So if you're going to be using Amex, I highly recommend selecting the PayPal option and using your credit card there, okay? Once you've completed the transaction, you're going to be taken to a thank you page, and we will immediately send you an email after you purchase. That email will have your username and password, as well as the link to the Dream Dropshipping course. If you don't see the email within 60 seconds, just make sure it didn't go into your spam page, but we send that right to you. If you have any problems, you can always contact our support at onlineempireacademy.zendesk.com, and we'll get you fixed up right away. We always want you to be as happy as possible after your purchase, okay? So once again, if you're ready to get started building a thriving Amazon business using only your laptop that you can run from anywhere in the world, go to www.mydreamdropshipping.com or click the Get Started Now button right now, and you'll get the system for just $697. All right, so that being said, let's get started with some awesome Q&A. What questions you got, guys? Stephen asks, is there a payment plan for the course? Great question, Stephen. So there is a cool option. It's a really cool option. If you go to the shopping cart, you'll see that there's an option for PayPal. Now, PayPal, a lot of people think that you have to pay either with your PayPal account and you have to pay all up front. But they actually have a program that you can pay off the entire course within 6 months. So that means you can take 6 months to pay for the course if you want, and it's no interest whatsoever. And so I think it's a really cool option. You have 6 months to pay it off. You can pay it off in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 months. And what's really cool, but it's dependent on you, 100% dependent on you, is that if you honestly take action on the course, you should be able to pay for the course with your profits much sooner than 6 months, okay? And usually it's within 1 to 2 months that you'd be able to do that. If you actually take serious, honest action on the course, which unfortunately, as we all know, a lot of people don't take action on anything. All right. If that's you, if you're one who's not going to take action, if you're one that is going to buy and then brush it off to the side and then do nothing with it, I don't think you should buy the course at all. But if you want to have a payment plan and you know that you just want to be able to spread things out a little bit, and you know 100% with 100% certainty that you are going to take honest action, that's what I would do. Is I would go to the PayPal option, and then they have the 6 month plan, the 6 month program that you can do at 0 interest. All right, so let's see. We have, all right, so let's go to, okay, Juliet says, why would you charge someone $50 for shipping and make a profit of $30 off their shipping fee? So on some items, generally you're going to want to do free shipping. You're going to want to say that you do free shipping. All right. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to say that? The reason you want to do that and say that is because how many people that do shop on Amazon, right? Everyone shops on Amazon. If you had to pay for shipping versus seeing that it's free shipping, what is the perception? Would you rather, even if it was the same cost, guys, even if it was the same cost, if it's free shipping versus paid shipping, generally you're going to want to go with the free shipping. It's just perception. And so what you do, say you have an item, and I show this in the course, but say you have an item that, say that you have an item that you are going and you are, say it's $300, okay? And it costs you, Amazon charges about 15%. So say it costs you $100, Amazon charges you 15%. Let me get my calculator out. 300 times 0.15, 45. Okay, so you're already paying 45 bucks to Amazon. Okay, so this thing you're charging 300 bucks. You can get it for 100 bucks. Okay, so and you're already paying that $45 to Amazon. Okay, so generally, since you know that you are going to make without shipping, because I'm not counting shipping in this yet. So you know you're going to make this so that it costs you 100 bucks. So if I go, I do 255 minus 100, I have $155 of leeway. Okay, not that you're necessarily going to. This is totally an example. Okay, not that you're going to make this much money off of this particular item, but you have $155 of leeway. Now, say now we're not even counting shipping. Okay, say this is a very heavy item. Okay, and your shipping is going to cost 100 bucks. Okay, so now we're down to $55 of net profit. Okay, now if you have standard shipping on, people can choose to go with the free shipping, which would give you $55 in net profit if they did that, because after your shipping costs, after your cost of goods, and after Amazon fees, you are making $55 net profit. Okay. After, if they wanted to have standard shipping, which perception-wise is a little bit faster, but most people would rather have the free shipping. It's a little bit faster. And your standard shipping costs, say, another 50 bucks because it's a heavy item. Okay. So now you're no longer at $55 net profit. You're at $105 net profit. Okay. So it's almost like, I don't remember if you guys knew, like back in the day, and I'm sure it still happens with eBay, people would pad their shipping costs. Okay. It's almost exactly the same thing, because it's not really going to go much faster. You might actually have incentive to try and make it go faster, but it's not actually necessarily going to go faster than the free shipping. Okay, it literally is just a bonus $55. Do I integrity-wise try and make things go faster when someone does that? Yes, I try to. I'll just send an email. When I send the email off, I'll say, hey, Eric, can you send this as fast as possible? And they're usually good about that. But is it always going to happen? No. Okay. Greg says, really interesting model. Thanks for sharing. Guys, we're in Q&A, so feel free to start shooting your questions. I also have some questions that people asked on Facebook. Nancy says, are vendors leery about drop shipping, and do they ask to see your Amazon store before working with you? It depends on the vendor, honestly. Some vendors don't even know what drop shipping is. Okay. Yes, if you could believe that there have been times where vendors have not even known what drop shipping is. Okay. Generally, they're not leery. They're actually not leery about drop shipping for the most part. Like I've never had anyone who's like, actually, I take that back. I had one person who, it was a big, like, I was trying to drop ship. I'll even tell you what I was going to drop ship, because I don't think I'm going to do it. I was trying to drop ship these generators, and the guy at the place was basically saying, you can't drop ship generators because of this and this and that and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, that's not true. I see your competition, Generac, up on Amazon, and I see who's selling it. I know those are drop shippers. I've been doing this long enough to know who my competition is. Those are drop shippers right there, and they're selling a generator on Amazon. Okay. And he just kept arguing and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go talk to Generac. I'll go talk to your competitor. I mean, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, a lot of them already do drop ship. Where you're going to get leery is a lot of them already deal with Amazon in some fashion or another. Not always, but but you have to convince them why you are different than other Amazon sellers. Sometimes they hate Amazon sellers, because Amazon sellers, from the retail arbitrage side of things, right? From the retail arbitrage side of things, Amazon sellers do not follow what's called MAP, manufactured advertised price. Okay, they do not follow MAP. Okay, manufactured, or some people call it minimum advertised price. Either way, MAP means you cannot sell $399. You can't sell less. You can't sell at a lower cost than $399. Okay. Um, do they do do they get pissed off if you do? Heck yeah, and they have a bad taste in their mouth. But for the most part, they just want to know how you're going to be different. Okay, how are you going to add value to them? Okay, and to their business. All right. All right, cool. And I talk about all of that stuff in the course. So if you're, I close this course all the time, guys, and I get in the in the Online Empire Academy Facebook group. When are you gonna open it up? When are you gonna open it up? I don't know. I don't know the next time I'm gonna open it up. Okay, so I close this. It's gonna be closed in a couple of days. We don't joke around when it comes to that. So hop on if you want to, and let me know. Let me know if you do. Um, um, I love it. All right. So let me get to here. I'm going to get to some of these questions right now. Can the business be done by Barbados? The business can be done pretty much wherever you want. I mean, I don't like, so as long as you have a federal EIN number and as long as you're willing to contact vendors in the United States, you could do it in Amazon UK. You could do it in Amazon, Amazon Canada, Amazon Mexico. You just have to make sure that you have, like, at least in the US, this is what I focus on, obviously in the US, you have to have a federal EIN and then be able to contact vendors. That's it. I mean, I do it. I've never touched a product, any of the products that I have in my entire life. So you can do it anywhere. I know someone from Jamaica who he was drop shipping some stuff too. So you can do it. Sylvia says, do you have a website? I do not have a website. Like, what she means is like a Shopify or BigCommerce website. I do not. Some vendors are particular about that, but I always ask, like, oh, okay, so like, you know, why do you require a website? And they say, well, we just want to make sure that people are established. And I said, like, so if you had an Amazon seller that was selling $10,000 of your product but didn't have a website, would you have a problem with that? And they would say, well, no, obviously not, but and then you just come back and say, well, that's my goal for your business, is I see the opportunity in it. I've been selling on Amazon and I know that I can do I know that that's my, essentially that's my goal for you to is to make an additional $10,000 in sales a month. Okay. How does your dropshipper include Amazon customer packing slip? The packing slip doesn't have to be Amazon's packing slip with this. It has to have a packing slip. Generally, you can do it. Okay, so I'll say it two ways. I'll say it a couple ways. First is you can actually print. You can put the packing slip into make it into a PDF, copy it, attach it to your email, which is the manual way. You can totally do that. That's fine. And say, hey, can you add this? Sometimes they won't be able to because of their operations. So you just say, hey, Amazon requires me to at least go look at the drop shipping policy. It doesn't say it has to be Amazon packing slip. It says it has to be on all packing slips. Okay. So they can be their packing slip, but it has to have your name on it. Okay, like it can have their name. Say it's that duck hunting place. It could say duck hunting, blah blah blah, and then you know the buyer, the reseller is you, and then the person who's being shipped to is the actual customer. Okay, so go to the Amazon policy. You can see that, but you can grab the packing slip, send that along with the email. If they say yes, great. If they don't, just make sure that your name is on all the packing slips, things like that. Okay, that they send. There is automated software that you can use that does that too. But that's in module 4 where I teach automation. That's actually one of my secret sauce. I don't like sharing. I don't like sharing that publicly. That's part of the reason why I'm able to go and do what I like. Let's see. Do you have net 30 with suppliers? Chris, that's a great point. Great question. So net 30, for if anyone doesn't know, basically that is they will finance you for 30 days. Like they carry you for 30 days. Okay. Personally, I don't. I put things on a credit card. Why do I put it in a credit card? Because I'm not paying for stuff up front, which means, and you do not have to do this, I actually do not like using credit cards at all, at all. But because I'm not putting up capital up front, guess what? Because I'm not putting capital up front, what am I doing? I'm gaining points. So I like the fact that I can use those points to go fly around wherever I want. Essentially, it's free points on top of the profit that you make. So I can use it for airlines, I can use it for gift cards, things like that. I don't suggest, I'm not a big credit card guy. Outside of dropshipping, I wouldn't do it, because reason why is I do it with dropshipping is it's already paid for. Okay, it's already paid for. Money's already come in to be able to pay back that. So that's why I don't do net 30. Would I if I didn't do credit card? Yeah, some vendors, if it's super expensive, like $30,000, they require you to do it. They won't do credit card, obviously. But no. And I talk about all this stuff in the course, like how to set all that stuff up and like what to do. And it really, like, it's funny because you know, people who take the course, like within the first week, as if you take the course and you just go with it, within the first 2 weeks. In fact, I had one guy, I can't because it's a sales thing, and FTC rules and stuff like that. I had one guy who had a certain goal for the month, and he did it in like 2 weeks, okay, of profit. Okay, so it's definitely doable if you do it. Okay, I can't hold your, I mean, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink. This is where module 1 and module 2 are super important. You master module 1 and number 2 and 2, you're on your way. You're done. Like it's a done deal. Then it's just scaling out. It's just adding more vendors and adding new listings and things like that. It's awesome. But most people don't take action. That's the way it is. Oh well. Are you one of those people that don't take action? All right. What about the buy box? Buy box works the exact same way with anything. I mean, if you create your own bundle, you have the buy box. You create your own listing for the product that that wasn't there, you have the buy box. Even if you're competing on a listing, you can potentially have the buy box. It's the same thing. How do you overcome Amazon Prime offering free standard shipping? Create a bundle. That's it. Create a bundle. Even if you're on the same listing as that Amazon has, guess what? They'll sell out eventually. Who cares? I used to think the same way. It's like a very, I used to think that with retail arbitrage. I'm like, well, what about Prime? And what about this? And what about that? People sell out, and I sell it. It's just the way it is. But create your own bundle and you're done. If you create your own bundle, you're the only one selling it. And if you don't offer Prime, oh well. Let's see. So Rick actually said, with that one vendor that I said, do I ask them if they drop ship? I say I'm a drop shipper. That's it. If they, I don't want to ask if they drop ship. I assume that they will. Okay, especially if I'm selling things over $500 or $100 for them, they'll find a way. Okay, I assume that they will. Let's see. So Tom says, how is this passive if you have to do all the shipping and admin work? You don't have to. You can have a virtual assistant do this. Okay, so shipping admin work. Let's see. What is shipping admin work? Okay, so first off, you don't, for if you actually get a sale, there's automated services. I talk about this in module 4. There's automated services that literally, when I see a sale come in, I don't do anything at all for like days, because it's already handled. Okay, literally, I don't do anything. So that's one how you scale it. From the tracking side, depending on your vendor, that automated system can actually grab that tracking number and put it into Amazon for you as well. So you could do that. But worst comes to worst, you hire Johnny down the street for a quarter every time he puts in a tracking number, and that's it. Like, or you, or me, if you even want to do 50 cents, hey, every time you enter in a tracking number, once you get it from this email, I'll give you 50 cents. That's it. That's all you have to do. As opposed to, hey, Johnny, come over here. I'm going to teach you how to pack boxes. I'm going to give you the standard operating procedure. Here, this one's going to this fulfillment center. This one's going to that fulfillment center. Make sure you use this dunnage. Make sure this has a suffocation seal on there. Make sure this has this and this and this and this. I like being able to tell Johnny down the street, hey, 50 cents every time this tracking number comes in. Just pop it in there, copy that, make sure you're doing it the right name, and that's it. That's it. Cool. Rohan says, do you have to do this business under a U.S. based U.S. business name? You have to have a federal EIN number. Okay. So yeah, it has to be. I mean, it has to be. I don't think you can do an international business that has a federal EIN number. All right. Let's see what else. More questions, guys. Here, let me go to some of the Facebook questions. Okay, so one of the questions was, do you have any particular tools to track supplier inventory? Yes, I talk about that in Module 4. That's one of my secret sauce that does tracks inventory and everything like that. I mean, guys, honestly, like if you're worrying about tools right now, it's the wrong thing. Like you should be worrying about finding vendors. You should be worrying about actually finding product to sell. That's it. You know. Number 2, what are some of the top ways to mitigate risks using this drop shipping model? Finding the right vendors, and I talk about this in Module 1 and Module 2 like over and over and over again. Find the right vendors, follow Amazon policy. It's not that hard. I mean, I go through a whole litany of stuff to do in Module, but you know, really it's just being smart, like making sure that your latency and how fast you ship things coincides with your vendor and all other stuff. Okay. Do you create your own Amazon listings or strictly use existing ones? I do both. Do you compete against Amazon FBA sellers for the buy box? So she talked about that. And yes, I do. Do you use any paid ads? That is a more advanced topic. We can talk about that at another time. All right. Cool. What other questions, guys? Once again, this is going to close within the next few days. All right. And if you're surprised when it's closed and it's back at $997, don't be that surprised because I told you. All right, guys, any other questions? Let's see, let me go down here real quick. Oh, Nate says, I would like to get to 50 vendors yielding 10K a month net profit from 15 hours of my VA. Could mostly do, and I oversee for 5 hours months top. That's cool. That's a great goal. Should definitely do that. I mean, it's scalable. That's the thing, guys, is it's scalable. I mean, I talk about this definitely in Module 4, is that why would you not want to build a scalable business? Why would you not imagine being able to spend, you know, you can keep doing your retail arbitrage and all-in arbitrage and spending $1, or sorry, $1, 1 hour contacting vendors and knowing that when you have that one vendor or the 2 vendors or 3 vendors or whatever, but really it's one vendor, one good vendor that you're going to get consistent income that you can measure like a real business person. Okay. This is a real business. Okay. All right. Teresa, there's 2 Facebook groups, the Online Empire Academy, which is the general one, and then the Dream Drop Shipping Facebook group, which is amazing. Let's see. Look says, do you worry supplier will sell on Amazon later? No. If they do, guess what? I didn't have money tied up in any of that inventory whatsoever, right? That's the beauty of this. I've had that happen before. I actually had this one vendor who I was selling a lot of his stuff, and he hopped on 4 listings that that I had put on, and then undercut me. Okay, he undercut me, and so what did I do? I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go create a bundle. And then here's the best thing is in module 4, I actually show you through automation software how you can create a bundle. You can do this manually too. You create a bundle from one vendor and a bundle from another vendor, and then your vendor can't do that anymore. You already know from sales, like you can go down to customer also bought this thing, right? They can go to customers also bought and then bundle those two things together from different vendors if you wanted to, and you're done. Or you can just say, hey, this would actually go with this vendor really, really well. And then they can't even get on their own listing. They can't even get on that listing. So, but you didn't have any money tied up. That's the beauty of it, is you didn't, I mean, what's your loss? You spent, 10 minutes putting up that listing and siphoned it for $10,000 or something like that. It's pretty awesome. All right, guys, if you haven't jumped on yet, definitely jump on it. It's going to be ending really, really soon, and it will go back up to its normal price. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. If you haven't jumped on it yet, definitely jump on it. It is going to be ending really, really, really soon. It'll jump up back to its normal price. More often than not, guys, I get people saying, hey, when is it going to jump? When is this going to go down to be discounted? I'm like, I don't know, honestly. Like, why would I want anyone who procrastinates anyway? If it's too expensive for you, if investing in being able to build a systematic business that makes you money without you doing anything, then I mean, why? If that's too much for you, then definitely not for you. Like, keep doing retail arbitrage, keep doing online arbitrage. That's the way to go. Okay, that's the way to go. And I'm actually not saying that in a bad way. Okay, you might not be ready for it. I had someone just the other day who I was talking to, who I taught how to do retail arbitrage when we first started with the academy teaching on Amazon. And what did they say? They said they were asking, like, they were saying, hey, is there going to be a discount? My wife doesn't want me to spend, the money to get on this. And we started getting on the subject of, he started thanking me for the academy a long time ago, and it really got him out of a bind. And that through retail arbitrage, what he learned in the academy, they're doing over 6 figures in sales a month, or sorry, in sales a year. Yet they were too unwilling to invest this much in their business so that they can stop doing retail arbitrage. That's probably not the. It's either I don't actually, I didn't know how to actually answer that. I just said I don't know when it's going to be discounted again. Sorry. It's just the way it is. All right. Deborah says, does the customer send money to PayPal or Amazon? They're buying on Amazon, and so so they at least I don't think there's a way to do PayPal on Amazon. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but anyway, it's all through Amazon. It's not like eBay where you can get it through PayPal, but they buy actually from Amazon. Amazon basically holds the money until you ship, and then puts it into your account. And usually it's about a 1 to 2 week. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to get the money. But the cool thing is, that you made a sale, right? You didn't have to go and buy the product prior to the customer coming in and buying it. You actually had the customer buy it first, and then you went and got it from your supplier. So pretty cool when you get to think that you don't even have to worry about having money tied up in inventory, right? Okay, Lynn says, how does the dropshipper know to ship? That's a great question, Lynn. There's 2 ways. There's the first way is through email. Essentially, you just let them know via email that you want it to ship to this particular place, and that you want to buy however many quantity of whatever item that they have. Typically, you want to do email because that's really the only way to scale. There are other ways. You can do API, you can do EDI, but you need software for that. So really, the second way is to automate, which I show in Module 4 of the course, how to automate it. There is a piece of software that I use. I have no affiliation with it whatsoever, and I don't make any money off of it. I just use it. I love it. And whenever an order comes in, it will automatically either email for you, or it'll connect to the API of the whatever site that you're working with, the vendor site. Or you can even have it to do EDI and a couple of different things. EDI, I forgot what it stands for. It's like electronic data interchange or something like that. But a lot of the big, huge drop shippers use EDI to include Wayfair. But yeah, you can do that. The software is kind of my secret sauce, and so I only like sharing that with dream dropshippers. So feel free, if you join up, you will see how I pretty much automate the whole darn thing at the in Module 4. All right. Michael says, how do you handle returns? It's a great question. This is one that comes up a lot. The two big questions that people usually have that kind of scare people away from drop shipping in general are, how do you handle customer refunds and returns? And what happens if inventory is not there? What happens if you sell something and your vendor actually doesn't have the inventory? Most often than not, that scares people away from drop shipping as a whole. I can tell you right now that those two things, I teach you in the course how to turn lemons into lemonade. And I'm dead serious when I say that every dream drop shipper that goes through my course has the tools that allow you to actually get, more often than not, you'll actually get 5-star feedback when you implement some of the things that I teach. Because, and I'll go into this, first let me answer the question. I'm gonna go into why you actually get amazing feedback from customers, way more than you would with Amazon FBA. All right, so returns. Now remember, one of Amazon's policies is that you handle the entire transaction, okay? So you have to be in charge of returns and refunds. So what typically happens, and it's a very easy process, is your customer will email you through Amazon system, and then you just let them know, okay, cool, that sounds great. Let me handle it. You might have to take some pictures, but let me talk with the manufacturer. Or you can actually just let them know, hey, I'm going to need you to take pictures if it's a defective item. Okay, sometimes it's not a defective item. One thing you want to do is, when you have suppliers, check and see what their refund policy is. Okay, what their return policy. Sometimes it's 15 days, sometimes it's 30 days. But just check up ahead of time. And what you do is, once you know that a customer needs a refund, all you're going to do is super simple: is email the vendor, let them know the order number, let them know that what customer wants a refund. What they'll typically do is they will schedule with UPS or FedEx or USPS or whatever a pickup for the customer, so the customer doesn't even have to go out and mail it themselves. Okay, they'll schedule a pickup at the customer's house, and then they'll let you know when they're going to be picking up that item. You then go back to the customer. If the customer gave you pictures, great. Let me take a step back real quick. If it is a defective item, you give the pictures to your vendor. They determine whether or not they are going to accept the refund. More often than not, I've actually never had a vendor not accept a refund or return. They'll give you an RMA number. Okay, they'll give you their RMA number, and you enter it into Amazon's system. They schedule a UPS pickup for the customer. You let the customer know when it's going to be picked up. They can just leave the box outside of their house or whatever it is, and that's it. You just delivered amazing customer service. I actually had a refund and return with a 5-star where they actually said, "Hey, man, Dean, it was something like, this was like the best experience ever. Dean, the way Dean handled refunds is really telling of a business, and because Dean handled the refund so well, it's really indicative of how that business treats their customers and so on. So it was really cool. I should let me see. You know what? In fact, let me bring it up real quick. See if I can do it so I can say it word for word. Okay. They said, I ended up needing to return the item, and Dean was extremely helpful, professional, and quick to respond. It says a lot about a company that handles returns so well, in 5 stars. How cool is that? Okay. Okay, so the second question that usually comes up that scares a lot of people away from dropshipping, but also when you know how to do it well and you know how to handle it well, it can actually lead to some amazing opportunities. The first, the first question was about refunds and returns. The second one that knocks people off the dropship wagon before they're even on it is inventory. What happens if the vendor doesn't have the inventory? Well, and your customer buys. Isn't that going to cause you to be suspended or whatever? No, you don't have to. You don't have to. That is a concern. So the first thing is to preempt the concern. The first thing is to preempt the concern. When you sign up with a vendor, you communicate with them. You ask, how much inventory do you typically have? How often do you run out? What are the things where you never run out? And what happens if you do run out? And just really get as much information as you can from them ahead of time. The second, and then I'll give you the third thing, is second, if you were to run out of inventory, it's not the end of the world. This is where a lot of people who do Amazon FBA or don't have to deal with customer service miss out tremendously, because when you're drop shipping, when you're doing any type of customer service, you have the ability, especially since you have a lot more time on your hands when you're drop shipping, you have the ability to give amazing customer service. So you can do things such as calling the customer, letting them know the different options that they have. It could be something like compensating them in some way. And I teach in the course in module 2 and 3 that if you're really in a long-term business, you want to see these as opportunities to really grow your business and to really make lemons out of lemonade. In fact, I had one particular dream dropshipping student who it was really cool. The inventory ran out. It's very rare that it happens, but inventory ran out, and he called the person and let them know what was going on and that it would be late, and he would do whatever he can to make up for it and everything like that. Well, they actually ended up becoming friends, and the other person was totally fine with it being late. And the other person actually, my dream dropshipping student daughter, is potentially getting a position with that person in one of the organizations that they work at. It's kind of a ministry, and so just to think that he was able to turn that potentially bad situation to a very good situation. The reason he was able to do that was because of module 2 and module 3, where I show you what to do in situations like that. It's not hard. And the best part about it is you can deliver so much better customer service than Amazon ever could, especially when you're drop shipping and you have so much more time on your hands because you're not group packing boxes. You're not doing the things that normal Amazon sellers typically have to do. Okay. The third and final way to manage inventory, and this is in module 4, I talk about this in automation, is there's automated tools that you can use. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. Automated tools that you can use to that will automatically update inventory. the inventory of your supplier. All you do is you either have your supplier give you CSV files and you can upload them, or you can connect to their EDI or API or whatever and automate the whole inventory management stuff. Okay, pretty amazing what you're able to do. But that's the whole idea of this, is being able to scale, right? In Module 4, it's all about automation, all about scaling, all about being able to, be on a webinar like this and, I sell something and not have to worry about it because it's already automated and it's already being fulfilled and all that other stuff. But yeah, you can actually automate your inventory as well. If the item's out of stock with your vendor, the software will automatically go and zero out and make unavailable the item in your listing. Pretty cool. All right. Charlene says, are all the vendors you use located in the US? I do. You don't have to. We have Dream Dropshipping students from all around the world. And you can do them in any Amazon marketplace. They don't have to be. But personally, I do. I only do continental US. Charlene says, "Are there tricks to finding products that sell well?" That's the one thing that I teach in here, is that you are building a portfolio of assets. Okay, it's not like retail arbitrage. It's not like normal Amazon stuff. You're putting up listings and they're selling. It's not necessarily that you're trying to find all these home run hitters. You are getting all these first and second base hits, and you get so many of them that they end up just selling a ton. Hopefully, if you put in the work of putting up the listings and stuff. So I show you how to find awesome products that you can put up there. And like I said, you're not putting any money in it into these products, and so you're able to be a lot more flexible than you would with private label. Because think about private label or wholesale in general. Wholesale, you have to think like wholesale and private label. You have to find potentially super winner products, or you can waste a lot of money. You can actually just decimate your pocketbook. Whereas with dropshipping, I can find awesome products, but they don't always have to be super winners. Okay, they don't always have to be just amazing winners, because all I have to do is create listings, right? Take 15 minutes, create a listing. Take 1 minute to create a listing. That's all you're doing. And so it's pretty amazing. I talk about that in Module 1 and Module 2, and when people see that, they're like, holy moly, I never really thought you could do something like this. But yeah, you're essentially making a portfolio of things that sell all the time. But yes, I do teach how to find good products and vendors. There would be no course, because vendors and suppliers are probably the main crux of the course. There would be no Dream Dropshipping without that. And I show you how to do all that quickly and effectively. Let's see. Wayne said, I would like to ask questions, but I'm at work, so I could not. Okay, pay close attention. I was wondering if you will have another live webinar. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have another. We'll have another live webinar. I just don't know when. There's also the replay. So Teresa says, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm excited. Excited for you guys who jumped on. Okay. All right, guys. So it ends soon. Jump on as soon as you possibly can, and it will go back up to its full price very, very, very soon. So if you lag, that's the way it is. All right, see ya. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the course. Okay, see ya. Have a great one.